We have Josh Van versus Kevin Borjas. This is going to be another fight on the prelims here. Pretty interesting fight, if I do say so myself. Josh Van, obviously Asian American, representing 8-1. He's 5-0 in his last five. He's coming off of that split decision victory over Zagas in his UFC debut. I mean, this guy's 22 years old, just to kind of tell the viewers, a young guy, and he came off with a UFC debut. Duh, that's something that is very noteworthy there. He's fighting against Kevin Borjas, 9-1. He's 4-1 his last five, coming off that Contender Series fight and victory over Victor Diaz, 25 years old. So he's also pretty young. Uh, as far as the reach advantage, Kevin does have a three inch reach advantage there. Fight odds for this one right here. Josh Van is now minus 225 favorite. He opened up at a minus 180 on Bet Online. So yeah, very interesting there. I mean, when I do break down Josh Van, I think he's actually a really talented MMA fighter. I mean, mainly he's a striker, boxer, right? But he can do a little bit of everything. Has pretty slick boxing, nice high tight guard, good 1-2s, has really quick feints, something I really like to see. Throws head kicks and kicks when you don't expect it. So that's something I also like to see as well. He hides his kicks pretty well. You pour in the combos with his youthful kind of pace and energy. I really think that he's the one of those like next generation kind of people who mixes in all the disciplines, right? Good gas tank and can pour it down in later rounds, as we saw with the Gonzalez fight, right? It was kind of a close fight, and then he just started pouring in the volume, and Zalgas was like getting just really pressured by him. He was taken down one time out of five times against Zalgas, so I think he showed pretty decent takedown defense and was able to kind of fend off getting held by the cage. And a lot of people thought that he was going to get held up by the cage for a long time by Zalgas, and he did that. So that's something that's pretty good that Josh Van did. Now, I will say that Zalgas might have been washed. He's one of those guys that said that he was going to retire, and then he came back, and all this stuff. So those kind of guys if you fight those kind of guys, I feel like it's an easy dub sometimes. So not that good to begin with, in my opinion. His opponent, um, Kevin Borjas, good striking, good clean straight strikes. I think he also has good combos. He can mix in the knees and elbows with his combos as well. Pretty clean kicks. He does like to go for the counters. So from some of the tape that I watched from him, he likes to catch some kicks and then he transitions into pretty nice like straight shots. He also can work the body, and the way he draws out the counters is that I think he uses the kind of lean back method, maybe too much at times. He can get caught sometimes if someone pushes on the pressure and pace before he can counter. So that's something to note for this fight. I think that he's a decent improving grappler, although he's not the best grappler. He does do well with takedown defense at times, but he was taken down like multiple times against Victor Diaz, but he sprawled and brawled his way to that victory. So, I mean, both these guys are pretty young. I'm going Josh Van here. I think that Josh Van, I mean, it's going to be a close fight. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a striker versus striker match. Close fight. I really want to put Josh Van just to represent some parlays, but I think I'm just going to hold off for now because, I do think this is going to be a close fight. I don't think Borjas is a guy that's just a cannon, if you will. I think that the UFC is setting this is one of the fights where the UFC wants to pit up like a young guy versus a young guy, and whoever comes up on top, they'll advance that person. Whoever loses, they'll probably, maybe feed them a can, if you will. So I think that's what the UFC is probably trying to do for this fight. Picker is Josh Van, but I'm probably holding off from play for now until I get maybe a little bit more data for both of these guys. Alex, what are your thoughts on this fight between Van and Borjas here?
Yeah, man, I agree with like a lot of what you said. My pick is also going to be Ben, just because I got to rep the Asian American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, no, but Van has real skill. Like you said, he really reminds me of Dustin Poirier,
Oh,
like that slick
nice.
boxing style.
Yeah.
Obviously he's not at the level of Dustin Poirier yet, but he really reminds me of him. And what I also really like is he has easy 3 rounds of cardio. Like
Hmm.
he's gonna push the pace, the pressure, all of that. Um, this is a striker versus striker. But as you said, like Van is more of like a boxing type striker, while I think Borjas is more of like a lightning quick striker, trying to like get you out of there with like one punch. Um, yeah, when I was breaking down Borjas, he was in his like karate stance kind of, and he would just kind of tag people with like counters and like hooks, and be able to not knock the opponent down. And so I'm definitely afraid for Van, like in that from that perspective, especially because in Van's last fight against August, he did get tagged a few times. Um, and Borjas definitely throws much harder than Zalgis. But I think Van is durable enough and kind of technically defensively sound enough to be able to withstand that kind of pressure. So my pick here is Van, but yeah, I don't really feel too comfortable in putting him into parlays, so holding off on that. But I like Van a lot.
Definitely, yeah. Well, we're definitely rooting for him. So let's see if he can do it, and maybe if he can do it, we can ride him on the next fight or something like that. Um,
Exactly.